Hello everybody, my name is Rue and this is my cozy corner of booktube, Rue with the Books. I've got a pretty busy week this week in terms of work. I work in retail, so my hours are a bit of a mixed bag. Some weeks I might do like 20, 25 hours. Some weeks I might do 30, 35. This is one of those busier weeks where I do have a lot of hours and not that much time to record, so it's a little bit more of a relaxed, low effort upload this time. But either way, I think it will be a lot of fun because it is time for a book haul reveal. It's always fun to look at new books that I've acquired, to talk about them, discuss them, get excited to start turning those physical pages. So, yeah, that's the plan for today, to reveal the books that I have acquired recently. Before I get into all of that, be sure to press the like button to support my content. It is a group effort and every like helps dramatically in terms of getting my content out in the wider YouTube algorithm. So yeah, I'd really appreciate that. And if you would also like to take a second to press the subscribe button to get injections of booktube content from Rue with the Books in your subscription feed, that would be awesome too. I would love to have you part of my bookish community. For the theme of book hauls, today's question is, what is the last book that you have bought? Let me know in the comment section below. If you are a fan of a nice hot beverage, be sure to grab one. I have a delicious Americano coffee, black. So I'll be chugging away at this as I continue recording this video. And yeah, join me in the great consummation of beveraging, and we shall have a great time together. And without any further ado, let's talk about some books. So book number one is American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. And this is not a brand new book. This is my girlfriend's. I think I actually bought this for her because she really wanted to read it and it was her birthday. So this has been read by her. It's been read by me, and because we were getting all of her books out of her family's house, bringing them back, I decided to bring this back with me. Now, am I going to read it again? No, I probably won't. I think this book is good, but it doesn't have much reread value because 70–80% of this book is rather dull. It's a satire of kind of this consumer world that we live in, where the main character, who I'm not rooting for because he is very messed up, is kind of, he finds his self-worth through all of the stuff that he owns. So all of these designer clothes, and he's got these very shallow relationships with his friends where all they do is talk about these designer goods or gossip about this and that person. They're very shallow, and this book has a unreliable narrator kind of thing going on. Yeah, it is a really good book. Definitely not for the faint of heart. There are some very disgusting scenes in this book. Very sadistic, very just awful. I don't even want to think about them. But it is nice to look at books. Look at this cover. It's glossy, it's red, it's I guess, I don't know if it's oil or watercolor. It looks more oil, obviously not real, like it is paper, and it hasn't been hand painted, but you can see the inspiration that was made for this. And yeah, one of the great aspects of having a book collection is just to look at them sometimes, appreciate what you have, and just, yeah, and looking at book covers, book spines, maybe you've got some nice books with sprayed edges. Very enjoyable experience. That's all I really have to say about American Psycho. Read it if you want something messed up, Otherwise, probably just ignore, because yeah, it's messed up. So the next book I have is Theo of Golden by Alan Levi. And this is a brand new one to my collection. I have acquired it firsthand from Waterstones. And this is about as far as you can really get from American Psycho. So that's quite funny. The back says, for anything to be good, truly good, there must be love in it. Nothing is what it's supposed to be if it's not at the core. That's just a little something. The actual blurb says, one spring morning, a stranger arrives in the town of Golden. No one knows who he is or where he came from. His name is Theo, and he has arrived there by chance, or has he? He visits the local coffee house, where 92 pencil portraits hang on the walls, portraits by local artists of the people of Golden. Theo begins purchasing them, one at a time, and putting them back in the hands of their rightful owners. With each exchange, a story is told, a friendship is born, and a life is altered. But who is Theo, and what brought him to Golden? A story of seeing and being seen, Theo of Golden is a beautifully crafted novel about the power of creative generosity, the importance of wonder to a purposeful life, and the invisible threads of kindness that bind us to one another. This book sounds really wholesome. It definitely was a impulse purchase. I read the blurb and I thought this sounds really cool. It sounds really wholesome. I really like this idea of just having a book about passion and kindness to one another. To try and make someone's day by just giving something that is rightfully theirs. It sounds like it's going to be a really beautiful book, very character driven. And I love character-driven stories, so that is very much up my alley. I'm unsure how I will enjoy the pacing of the book. With character-driven stories, that can be one of the pitfalls. If the pacing is bad and it feels like I'm progressing really slowly, or it's just a bit too dull, you never know, it might not be that good. But this book does have very good reviews on Goodreads. It's got about 250,000 ratings, which is a lot. A lot of people have read this. And with all those ratings, it has a very high overall rating. It's like 4.64, I think, which is absurdly high. So hopefully I agree with most other people that this book is good. It's an international best-selling phenomenon, supposedly, and according to Goodreads ratings, I do believe it. I'm hoping that this book fills me with optimism, it fills me with hope, and I hope that most of all, I do enjoy it. So that's Theo of Golden by Alan Levi. The next book that I have hauled is Lady Joker Volume 1 by Kaoru Takamura. And once again, this is another first-hand Waterstones purchase. To be honest, right, I walked into Waterstones, I was like, I'll have a browse, maybe I'll get one book, you never know. That didn't go to plan because I left the shop with 3. But it is what it is, because I am very excited to read all of these books, and it's gotten me very motivated to finish reading Faithbreaker, I think, which is the final book in the Fallen God series, because I just want to read these new books. But anyways, so once again, I'm going to read the blurb and then talk about it. Tokyo 1995. 5 men at the racetrack every Sunday to bet on horses. They have little in common except a deep disaffection with their lives, but together they represent the social struggles and griefs of post-war Japan. Intent on revenge against a society that values corporate behemoths more than human life, the 5 conspirators decide to carry out a heist. Kidnap the CEO of Japan's largest beer conglomerate and extract blood money from the company's corrupt financiers. Inspired by the unsolved true crime kidnapping case perpetuated by the monster with 21 faces, Lady Joker is the magnum opus by one of Japan's literary masters, twice adapted for film and TV, often taught in high school and college classrooms. So, first of all, I think the blurb makes this seem like it's a really relatable story, because a lot of people in the world today do feel very disgruntled, very downtrodden. Like, they don't have any power in this world that is ruled by billionaires, tech CEOs, things like that. And I don't really read crime, but I like that they didn't make it as like a like a murder mystery. We know who the people are that are going to perpetrate the crime. We're going to learn about them very very strongly. Like, we are going to know these characters essentially top to bottom. We are going to know them intricately and intimately. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. That's what I was buffering. And it sounds like it's going to be really, really exciting. I think heist books are really, really fun. You know what the goal is, and it's up to you to kind of look at these characters and watch them progress in their goal, and to see what hurdles might happen, if everything's going to go to plan, what might not go to plan, and how our characters will overcome them. And I did also read the Goodreads summary for this, and all of these characters are very, very different people. So that sounds really interesting too. Like, you have, like, there's one person that's a parent of a autistic child, for example. Or no, sorry, it wasn't autism. I think it was Down syndrome. They have a Down syndrome child, and that is a hard enough life to live because you have to put so much extra care into looking after this child. So the fact that they're downtrodden and life is already hard, just to have it be even that more harder with the kind of the social struggles, it sounds like it's going to get me pretty angry. And is blurbed as a tense psychological thriller. Now, psychological horror or thriller, whatever, is one of my favorite types because I think that humans are the most unpredictable kind of horror thing, if that makes sense. Like, say you have, I don't know, a lion as the villain of a horror story. You know what the lion's motivations are going to be. It's going to want to protect its children. It's going to want to get food. Survival and reproduction are its two major goals. Now, humans have so many more factors that essentially inspire their decisions. And that is what makes them unpredictable, because they have 100 different things that could motivate them to do any one specific action, or they might have 100 different ways of doing this action, or 100 different things they could do to kind of satisfy their motivation. So yes, psychological, very good. The next thing is it's studied in schools and classrooms. So I don't know when this book was written. It is a two-parter, but this could be a bit of a modern classic. I don't know. And also, I don't really read very much translated fiction. I assume this was translated from Japanese. So that's another kind of reason why this is a really, really good purchase. So yeah, really, really excited to read Lady Joker. It sounds really cool. It sounds thrilling. It sounds intense. It sounds like hopefully I will be sympathizing with the characters, and it's going to be really satisfying once the thing that happens, and the kind of after effects of that. I'm excited to see how it all happens. So yeah, that's Lady Joker by Kaoru Takamura. Sorry, I knew it was Takamura. Wanted to remember the first name. Kaoru Takamura, Lady Joker. The next book is John Dies at the End by Jason Pargin. And this is the book that I am probably the most excited to read. I'm going to show you the back. I will give you a warning that this is not for the faint of heart, so maybe skip ahead 20 seconds if you don't want to see it. This also may get me shadow banned by YouTube, but we'll see. Anyway, look at that. That is disgusting. Gnarly. But yes, so this book, it's a kind of cheesy horror. It sounds like it's going to break the fourth wall in some cases, and it does through the blurb. So let me read it to you and get you as excited for this book as I am to read it because it sounds amazing. Stop! You should not have touched this book with your bare hands. No, don't put it down. It's too late. They're watching you. My name is David Wong. My best friend is John. Those names are fake. You might want to change yours. You may not want to know about the things you'll read on these pages, about the source, about Korok, about the invasion and the future, but it's too late. You touched the book, you're in the game, you're under the eye. The only defense is knowledge. You need to read the book to the end, even the part with the bratwurst. Why? You just have to trust me. The important thing is this. The drug is called soy sauce, and it gives users a window into another dimension. John and I never had the chance to say no. You still do. Unfortunately for us, if you make the right choice, we will have a much harder time explaining how to fight off the otherworldly invasion threatening to enslave humanity. I'm sorry to have involved you in this, I really am, but as you read about these terrible events and the very dark epoch the world is about to enter as a result, it is crucial you keep one thing in mind. None of this is my fault. Doesn't that sound good? The drug, soy sauce. I love that, that's so funny. Yeah, this book sounds really, really good. It sounds like it's just going to be really good, cheesy fun. It sounds like it's... I don't even know what to say. It just sounds like it's going to be good, cheesy fun. That's all I have to say about it. There's so many cool things about this. And I've heard absolutely brilliant things about this book as well, which makes me even more excited to read it. It's about 450, 600, 500 pages, something like that. So it shouldn't take too long to read. It's a bit thick, but not like ridiculously thick. I think I will bang this out in a week, and I am so excited to do so. So John dies at the end. The next book is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill, and you might notice this book is very, very short. So this is another one of the books that I have picked up from my girlfriend's house for our collection here. Sorry, it's not her house, it's her family's house. So this book is about Arthur Kipps, a junior solicitor who is summoned to attend the funeral of Mrs. Alice Drablow, the sole inhabitant of Eel Marsh House. Unaware of the tragic secrets which lie hidden behind the sheltered windows, the house stands at the very end of a causeway, wreathed in fog and mystery, but it is not until he glimpses a wasted young woman dressed all in black at the funeral that a creeping sense of unease begins to take hold. A feeling deepened by the reluctance of the locals to talk about the woman in black and her terrible purpose. So this is a haunted house story, supposedly written in a similar style to Jane Austen's work, which is very funny, very witty, very literary, and it's quite short. So I'm hoping that I can bang this one out in a few days and that I'll enjoy some of that creepy, horror-y, spooky stuff that goes on in this house, and that it's just got a satisfying conclusion that gives me the heebie-jeebies. So that, Woman in Black by Susan Hill. The next book is The Secret Agent by Joseph Conrad. This is a classic, kind of hopefully very thrilling, very upbeat, because it is about espionage. So what the back says is, prescient and shocking, The Secret Agent is a story of terrorism, espionage, and revolutionary groups in 19th century London. Quiet shop owner Verloc is a member of an anarchist group and a secret agent for a foreign country who becomes involved in a plot to blow up the Greenwich Observatory with tragic consequences. Inspired by the real-life Greenwich bomb of 1894, The Secret Agent is a masterpiece of failed lives and complex moral dilemmas. So, doesn't that sound good? Usually I'm not really into that kind of wartimey kind of thing, but this book sounds like it should be very, very exciting. Like, will the plot get foiled? Will someone find out? Because essentially, by taking part in espionage, you are doing some spying stuff. You might be a double agent. It's also very psychological because as a spy, You know, you have to make sure people believe that you are who you say you are and not who you actually are. And yeah, it's really, really short. It's just slightly under 300 pages. So it's another book that really shouldn't take that long to read. And as it's about such a thrilling topic, hopefully it's a page turner. I just want to read the next page and the next page and the next page. So yeah, anyway, this is another book from my girlfriend's family's house that my girlfriend owns and we've brought back. It's a very nice, simple cover, just white with some circles and some dots. It's from the Penguin English Library. So yeah, I really hope that I have a good time with this because it's quite short. I plan to read it not too far in the future, but we shall see exactly when. Anyway, that is The Secret Agent by Joseph Conrad. Gosh, this video has gone so quickly, hasn't it? This last book is Northern Lights by Philip Pullman, who is a very, very popular author and is still releasing books today. Anyway, this is The Northern Lights. This book is part of his Dark Materials trilogy, and I've got a bit of a backstory to this book, which is that I was going to another city and I was taking the train, and I found this book at the Swap Your Books / donate to the train charity bookshelves. So I decided to leave some money and take this along with me. Because whenever you find a book like this, you never know if it's going to be there next time. It's not like a bookshop where they have constant supply of books. If you see something there, you kind of have to nab it because it might escape your clutches forever. But it hasn't escaped my clutches because it's in my hands. Anyway, what is this book about? When Lyra's friend Roger disappears, she and her daemon Pantalaimon determine to find him. The ensuing quest leads them to the bleak splendor of the north, where armored bears rule the ice and witch queens fly through the frozen skies, and where a team of scientists is conducting experiments too horrible to be spoken about. Lyra overcomes these strange terrors, only to find something yet more perilous waiting for her, something with consequences which may even reach beyond the Northern Lights. So I'm really excited to read this. I don't know when, because I've got a lot of book series that I'm kind of working at the moment. So I don't necessarily want to add another trilogy anytime soon. But when I get around to it, I'm sure I'm going to really, really enjoy it. And when you pay what you want for a book, it's going to be an absolute bargain regardless. Yeah, so The Northern Lights and his Dark Materials trilogy is very, very highly beloved in the fantasy community, which does make me want to read it more. It's not talked about so much these days because this book is fairly old. I don't know when it was written, but it's got video game adaptations. I think it's got movies. And in fact, I'm pretty sure I played The Golden Compass on the PlayStation 2 when I was a wee young laddie. And I did really enjoy that game. So, but yeah, I was really, really, really young at the time, so I really can't say I remember much apart from like the bears and the magic and stuff like that. But yeah, so there's a few mysteries here. There's what are these experiments that are going on? What will they find that has implications that may reach beyond the Northern Lights? Is there going to be good action? Is there going to be some interesting magic? I really don't know much. But what I do know is Philip Pullman is pretty popular and he's still writing books today and people are still buying the books. So this should be a good one. I know this series I think is pretty YA, but I don't see that as an issue because, you know, YA books, they're really, really good at hooking you in. And I love being really hooked in by a book. So this should be a good time when I get around to it. And I'd rather it be sooner rather than later, but it might be later rather than sooner. Maybe this is a 2027 read, we shall see. And I'll update you once I start reading it. So yeah, that is The Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have made it this far, I hope that someone gives you an absolutely gorgeous painting today, because that would make your living area that much nicer, wouldn't it? Yeah, so if you haven't done so already, be sure to press the like button, give me a subscribe if you enjoyed this video, give me a comment about what your last book purchase was, or tell me about what your last read was, what you thought of it, stuff like that. I do reply to all of my comments, so I would love to have a chat with you in the comment section below. I do also have some social media in the description, being my Instagram, my Goodreads, my TikTok, and my Storygraph. So if you would like to connect with me on those, you can go ahead and reach out in the description. I'd love to connect with you outside of YouTube. Let's build this community and have a good time. Anyway, until next time, where we talk more books and have a good time, good cozy time, I shall see you then. Rue out.